Welcome back to another Reddit Excel video where I'm going to be going through some problems on Reddit regarding Excel, and I'm just going to be trying to solve them and just hopefully give some tips and pointers of what I would do and how to maybe go a little step further as well and actually improve it. So if you like these videos, just don't forget to drop a like. Let's get into it.
In this video, I'm going to show you how to create complex sequencing in a simple way with some formulas. So in this problem, this person has quite complex text where they want to increment, but with standard Excel, it's not possible to just drag this down and create the kind of pattern that they're looking for. And they want to create quite a lot of these by the looks of it, up to like the 3 billion mark. So yeah, let's dive straight in. So to begin, we're going to make use of the data that they've already got. And like I said before, if you try and flash fill this, it's going to give you some weird result. So let's create two helper columns. So helper 1, helper 2. And then the first thing we're going to do is we're going to need to use text split. And that's going to allow us to separate this text into two values. And our delimiter is going to be a space with a hyphen and another space on it. And then that should spill into two columns like that. And we'll just use that for this one as well. So then for the first value in the next range, it's literally just 1 plus the previous one. So that's nice and easy. And then we can change the format in here as well to a number, and we'll make custom. So more number formats. Use the 1000 separator. Don't want any decimal places. And then it will look the same. And then we'll copy that and we'll make sure we paste the format in across to the cell next to it. Then for the top range, it's simply this plus 30 million, which is a lot of zeros. And then to join this all together, we're going to make use of text join. Our delimiter is going to be the same as before. We can add true. We don't really, this bit doesn't matter. And then the text that we're joining is this range here. And then we'll close that. As you can see, it does it, but it's not in the same format that we have here. So what we're going to need to use is the text formula. And the value will be the range. And then the format text will be as follows. So what this means is the hashtag shows optional number. The comma is the 1000 separator. 2 more potential ones, but definitely have a 0 always, which is, we always show that last digit basically. And then now we can drag down as much as we want, and you can go as far as you like to go. In this problem, I'm going to show you how to create a quick summary from your data, where you can quickly just select the drop down and it will update automatically. So in this problem, they have 2 sheets which have their data in it. One for a Bible hour, another one for children's class. They want to create a summary sheet that looks like this, where if they update the month, it will pull the data automatically from these sets of data into this summary here. So let's dive straight in. So I've created a quick mock-up of the data, as you can see here. And I would put this in a separate sheet, but for the video purposes, I'm going to keep it here. So yeah, let's include a summary now. And then this cell here is where we're going to put our drop down. And then the Bible hour with a date, teachers. And then over here, let's put the children's class with the month, and then we're going to use these values here, so I may as well just copy them. And then just to make this a little bit prettier, let's add some bold, and for this bit we're going to add some just basic line underneath, just so that you can see what's actually going on. So for the drop down, we're going to need to have some kind of months. So let's just get that filled in. This is probably the quickest way. Just write a couple months, and then when you highlight and then drag down, it will automatically understand what you're doing. And then on here, we're going to go to data validation, list, and our source is going to be the values that we just inputted. So now, as you can see, we have a drop down with all the values in them. And now the first thing we're going to do is create the first summary. Okay, so what we're going to use to do this is the filter function, and that allows us to just filter a set of data which we have above, and then just add some criteria. So our array is going to be the data that we have. The include is going to be if this column matches the month, but to do that, we're going to need to format this first so that it matches the value in the drop down. So we're going to use the text function again on that range, and we're going to use quadruple M, which will be the long format of date like this. And then if it's empty, which means nothing found, then we're just going to do no results so that it's not an error. And then we'll hit enter on that. And as you can see, it doesn't work because I did not add my condition. So I need to actually add that. So it's got to be equal to this. And then as you can see here, it returns it, but it's not in the right format. So let's just change that to a long date, and that works now. So again, just testing. So when we change it, it does come back with all the correct results. And as you can see, August had only had 3. And so that works pretty well. So let's do the same for the children's class, and it will be pretty much the same formula. But I'm going to do it again just for repetition's sake. So we're filtering all of this. Our include is going to be this month. And again, we're going to make sure we convert that to the actual month format that we require. And then we're going to say if that's equal to this. And again, no results. And that pulls it through. And again, we're just going to make sure that this is formatted correctly. So, and we'll put it in the same format as this one. So let's use no, we keep it like that. Or we could just copy this and then paste formatting. So it's consistent. And again, just to test, we now know that it works properly. In this problem, I'm going to show you how to quickly check for a specific character or number of characters in this data and automatically return a result where it is true. So pretty simple one here. They want a formula that will only keep the words that have 2 or more Z letters in them. So for example, this one, this only has 1, so they wouldn't want to keep it. So yeah, let's dive straight into this. So there's a couple ways to do this. I'm going to show you the older way first. If you're not using Excel 365, so it's a bit more compatible. So we're going to need 2 helper columns here. So helper 1, helper 2. The first one is going to be a little trick to remove the Z's. So we're going to use substitute, select our old value, and then the text we're replacing is a Z, and we're going to replace it with a blank. So as you can see here, it's removed all the Z's. And then what we're then going to do is a little trick to check what has been removed. So obviously we're only removing Z's. So if we then were to compare the length of the first one with the length of the second one, then we'll see exactly how many Z characters were in those values. So then we'll wrap that in an if statement. So if that is greater than or equal to 2, we're going to use the old value. Otherwise, it doesn't have 2 Z's in it, so we don't want that value. So let's put blank. So as you can see there, let's quickly just done that. And then if you're using a newer version of Excel, then you'll have access to regex, which is super useful for detecting patterns. And it looks like this. So it'll be regex test. Our text is going to be our initial value. And then the pattern will be like this. So as you can see, that's returned as true. And then if we drag it down, we can see it matches exactly what we had before. So we know that that worked. And then again, if you wanted to just have it in one cell, just use an if. So if that's true, use the original, otherwise blank. And then copy that down. And then if we wanted to go one step further, then we can add the filtered data. And we're just going to use this formula basically inside a filter function. So we're going to filter this data. Our include is going to be if the regex text returns positive, and we're going to make sure this is the range selected. And then if it's empty, we'll just put blank. So that quickly puts it all in consecutive rows, which is a lot easier to look at. And if you're curious about the regex, there's this regex generator that I found online, and you can just paste your text in, and you can then select, which character it is that you want or what you're looking for basically. And then it will create your regular expression for you to copy.
So there's been another Reddit Excel video. I hope you guys have liked that. If you want to see more of this and you have any other problems that you want me to discuss, feel free to drop a comment below. I've also created a subreddit for these sort of things. So if you have any questions, just drop me a message, one of those places, and I'll try and include it in a future video. So yeah, if you like that, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.